Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to react to episode 9 of From Into the Woods.
Into the Woods, the penultimate episode. We are super excited to find out how this season 1 is going to end. We ended on some crazy shit the last 2 episodes. The colony house got absolutely destroyed because of a man who has been lonely for a while. He wanted to talk to somebody. He was talking to one of these evil entities, and she coaxed him into opening the window, and she came in, and it was kind of lovely for a minute, and then a lot of people died.
Yes, it was a bloodbath.
It was an absolute bloodbath. Jim and Jade have a plan to kind of build more of a tower on top of the colony house to see if they can get the signal out. Boyd has Sarah. He's kind of going off. Unfortunately, we lost the father, and Boyd is going off with Sarah, believing in father, thinking, I can't remember his last name, Father Cracky or Kariki. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
But he's kind of believing in him, so he feels that, okay, well, the father believes this. I'm going to bring Sarah and see what this is all about. How can she potentially help to save them? We haven't really got back with Victor yet. We haven't seen Victor since the attack at the colony house.
Yeah, since he threw the daughter into the tree, she ended up in that bunker.
Weird vortex thing that happens in the tree that he mentioned. So yeah, I think
the last episode we got finally some backstory on the tragic story of what happened to Boyd's wife, why there's so much tension between him and his son, which seemed to have gotten at least resolved a little bit. Which was nice. Very sad moment, but very tragic.
Very bad
what happened there,
and that's a lot of stuff that he's carrying with him, and you can understand why now. But
it was also a nice story to see how the talismans
were found.
Do you know what we were calling it?
What? Well, talismans is kind of what they.
I know, but do you know what we called it? Like, I think on the first episode,
what
a talmud.
Maybe.
Or Talbot.
I think
we were calling it a Talbot.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a food?
I'm not sure.
I think a Talbot's like food.
Really? Yeah.
Or steak, or I don't know.
Yeah. Talisman. Yeah. I do remember seeing that when I was doing the editing of it. Yeah. But that was cool. It was like, and that's one thing I asked in our end of the reaction discussion was, he just happened to go into that kind of tree, and he was a cave or whatever, but they were all there. It's like they were all pre-made. So that's why I was like, okay, did Victor do this? Did other members of, but again, we don't know how long this town has been around. Now, we saw this Civil War soldier that Jade got a hallucination with.
It was a hallucination.
But it could be. It could go back to the 1800s. It could go back to the beginning of time. We don't know.
I'll say this,
but
every single entity that we've seen, their dress, their attire is old.
Some of it seems modern. Some of it, I don't know. I've seen some of it that seems old, maybe like the 50s.
Even the dress, the 40s and 50s. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, when he falls into the cave and they're all hovered over, like, you see the old, like, 50s style cop, I think.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Yeah.
Maybe there's. Well, no.
There's been some modern dresses.
There's been some modern ones. The kid that tells the daughter, like, "Hey, don't you remember me?" Was modern.
There's been some modern styles. I do agree with you. I do.
There's a lot.
Recall seeing some clothing that kind of was reminiscent to like older times. So that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So whatever those entities are, however long they've been around, maybe the clothing that they wear is the point in time that they became them.
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know yet.
I think the episode was at episode 7 where everything went down.
Yeah.
I think that episode was the first time we actually got to be like, not necessarily full POV of the entity, but we got to be in the same room
with one. Yeah.
Which was amazing.
Brutal. The nails across his back, and then bites his tongue, and then
nails grew, and then the smiling Joker dude.
Trudy's death was tough, brutal. Dude. She was just trying to hear her try to scream,
but it goes back to them torturing them.
They torture them, and what's weird is I've mentioned this before to other people that we've seen. They don't I wouldn't say all of them, but the ones that we've seen, they haven't touched their face. They kind of leave their head intact, but they also leave certain parts of their bodies intact. Like they'll leave one arm, one leg intact, the rest of their limbs are gone, but they leave the head.
I think it's because they enjoy the facial reactions
of seeing
they're torturing them.
Seeing their loved ones, and then also leaving the head, so then whoever finds them knows who they are.
But also in some vindictive way, they are torturing the living.
Yeah, true.
By seeing their loved ones like that.
I kind of get a feeling it's over kind of quick. Maybe a little bit long to torture, but I think it's probably over kind of quick.
Not the way what's-her-name from the colony house described her sister dying.
Yeah, her sister, Donna, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her sister got killed. They took her time with it. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, we are 2 episodes away from the end of this first season. We're super excited to see how this goes. So let's get into episode 9.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. She did mention there's a lot of hiding spots, but
I think she realizes she wants to help now.
Yeah.
Based on what?
But it's where I found these. This right here is as far as I've ever gotten. Once we go beyond this point, we're in completely uncharted territory, and I'm not about to do that 2 hours before dark. We camp here. Go.
You're gonna trust her?
最大嗰座咧就喺個塔，另外嗰兩座咧就研究緊收音機同埋電源嗰方面。但係其實
佢揾到個 Victor 未啫？
未啊，但係我估如果佢再提多一次嗰個 symbol 咧，我估佢真係會俾阿 Jim 打死佢都唔定。Hey,
I finished chapter 6.
what do you think so far?
Well, it's not exactly my favorite, but I'm interested to see how things turn out.
Oh, they both gave the look back.
You okay? Looking a little long in the face.
Oh, that's genetic.
Get good sleep tonight. Your work starts tomorrow.
Right. Until we get this miraculous tower set up and send our radio signal out to Neverland.
Hey, cut the shit, all right?
What do you mean, dude, look where you are, but
yeah.
Like, come on. Damn, dude. She's
far?
Still going. She's trying to go as deep as possible to be like, where are these freaking wires? Where are the pipes? Oh,
dude.
That's weird.
Yeah. What's happening?
Uh-oh. Is she having a hallucination?
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Yeah, it's like she's like in a lighthouse or like a dungeon or something. She should know that her stairs.
Grab up, please.
She would. I don't know what's going on.
Grab the kids. There's something
dude,
wrong.
no. The hallucination of the baby.
1752, 1864.
1652, I think, or 16 something.
Yeah. But do you think that's a real place that she visioned somewhere?
Oh, she's sleeping.
Yeah. But do you think that's a real place she visioned? So what was the oldest one you saw? 1600s, roughly.
1650. It was in the 1600s. Yeah. That might not have been the oldest. I just keyed in on that one.
Dude, we gotta. I know we're gonna eventually find out, and I've seen comments. You know, there's people that have in our comments that have like already, like you said, binge watched it, and they're like, "Dude, you guys just wait. There's a lot more cool stuff coming."
I've heard there's a lot more questions too.
Yes, there's a lot more questions. Yeah. Shit.
Oh shit.
They're looking up, dude.
He was fine.
Oh, that dude hung himself. I know it. Yep.
Hey, Jay's all set up in the kitchen with the batteries, and I think we got enough wire and cords now for the cable.
All right, well, we're gonna need more material if we want to get this tower up high enough.
Wouldn't you build it on the roof?
Maybe just building the frame first or something.
Is Eric with you? I need him to go on a supply run.
Eric's not coming.
Mind if I join you?
I would not mind at all.
Oh yeah, the fallout also from Fatima and Julie. Julie wanted her to kiss her.
You hear about Eric?
Yeah. It's weird, you know. This radio might actually work. As amazing as that is, I think the idea that it might work is scarier than the idea that it won't.
Meaning she wants to stay.
How do we go back now? After everything we've seen, some of the things we've done, how do we just... I'm not sure we can ever really go home. We're not the same people anymore.
You could probably also equate that to men in war. In war, yeah. How do they go back to...
My dad came back home from Afghanistan, and then when you come back, you can't tell if everything is different than it was when you left it, or if it's you.
That's got to be so tough.
What's it gonna be like for us? This is the only place we've ever known together.
Because, yeah, it's like, depending on how long you've been gone, probably declared dead already. And it's like, your house, wherever you lived, is probably gone. All your belongings. You'd have to prove that you're you.
Making sure we find our way back.
How do you know this isn't the same? How do you know we won't just walk and then end up right back in town where we started?
You say those voices told you that killing those people would get everyone home. You ever stop to think that maybe they were lying?
I don't want to talk about that.
No, you're going to.
What exactly did they tell you that made you willing to kill that little boy?
They told me that there would be 2 cars, and they said that if I didn't do what they said...
Then what? I asked you a question, then you goddamn answered...
They said my brother would die, okay? They said that if I didn't do it, that he would die, that everyone would die.
Oh, they were kind of telling the truth. Because he did die.
Why didn't you just put me in the box?
I don't know. I thought... I'd seen this town make good people do bad things.
I don't think she'll do anything. I think she's really trying to understand it. I think she wants to help. Now her brother's dead in her own hands, but yes, let's get back to this.
Ethan said he thinks it's a puzzle.
No, not a puzzle. A story. They all fit together and tell a story.
Do you think Dad's tower is gonna work? I don't know. I mean, we just have to wait and see. A game called When I Get Home, When I get home, I will go to Giovelli's and I will order everything on that menu. Maybe 2 of everything in the menu.
Well, it sounds like an Italian place. I'm down for it.
Yes.
When I get home, I'm gonna call my friends.
When I get home, I want us to be happy, like we are here. We never play games around the table at home.
Yeah, when you get home, is the divorce happening?
Batteries are way past their expiration date. All right, we got the newer batteries from my car and that giant lunchbox that you guys were driving, but
what we do is we take the batteries, we put them in the cars, and then we just run the cars to recharge.
And then what? Burn how much fuel? Look, the point is you're either burning out one final resource or not. Has anyone seen Victor? Look, if you would just take a look at the symbol, open the book.
We have a legitimate chance here to go home, and you're... Do whatever you want. I'll stay here, and I'll figure this out myself.
There's nothing to figure out. There's no power source.
What do you want? I heard what happened. Shouldn't you be out there rounding up supplies or building a spaceship or some shit? I'm just saying, well, I'm gonna take a few people down to the barn, salvage some more wood for the tower. You want wood?
Oh, shit.
We got plenty of wood.
Hey, whoa,
Wait. Calm the fuck down. I'm not a fucking psycho. You said we needed wood. Let's get wood. Better here than any of that half-rotten shit you're gonna pull off the barn. This tower's gonna get us all home. No need to keep this place standing. It's not a home anymore. It's a fucking tomb.
Jesus, dude, she's... Damn, dude.
Wow.
I heard the story about what happened with your wife. What you had to do.
We're not going to talk about that.
You remind me of Nathan. I mean, you're a lot more gruff than he was, but you always put other people's needs before your own. Nathan had a theory about this place. If we tried to leave, if we pushed too hard, then something would push back.
You hear that?
Yes.
What is that?
It's like glass.
I don't know.
Wind chimes?
Now that's not creepy.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Hey, Sarah.
No!
Hey. Hey, what's going on, Sarah?
I can hear them. I can.
No, talk to me. Talk to me.
Damn, dude.
No, Sarah. Hey.
Damn.
Whoa.
You know, all the time I've been here, this is the first you set foot in this place.
Because you serve piss water. Your distilling is for shit.
Donna, I know you're upset about Eric, but there's nothing you could have done.
For fuck's sake, it's not about that. Eric punched his own ticket. He's got a right to go out the way he wants.
You're all in a fantasy land.
I think it's worth trying.
And what happens when you fail?
Then we try again.
No, because you got people's hopes up. You made them believe. You take that away now, and they're lost.
At least they have hope.
They give up. And they fucking die. You want to know what I'm grieving? I'm grieving the fact that for a little while, this place almost felt like something that could work. You guys are so caught up in playing Mr. fucking Wizard that you can't see what this place is going to become when you fail.
Live in a place where those things come to hunt us every single night.
Why not? At least here the monsters have the decency to show you what they are. I know you guys from town look at Colony House and figure it's all just drinking and fucking.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
But it was more than that. All those people from all those different places, different lives, everyone living together, and all the monsters in the forest bullshit. There was something. There was a joy in that house.
Until one of your guys wanted to F the monsters.
I'm gonna put my game face back on tomorrow. I will give that tower a shot. But you have to be prepared for the fallout if it doesn't work.
I like her.
If it does work, I think you'll find there's more you're gonna miss about this place than you thought.
That's crazy. It's like some people realize that there's good things here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That kind of day, huh?
Just ironing out a few wrinkles. That's all.
Yeah. So we got that coil for the CB that you needed. And we should have enough wire strips for the cord.
That's great.
Is it?
These are setbacks, nothing more. Look, we got what we need for the radio. Tower's almost finished. We will figure this out.
But then there's the thing I was thinking about. Could there be one or two people that would want to sabotage it? Because they feel like, I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Eric was a friend. He had celiac disease, so he came to the clinic a lot. He was always bloated and dehydrated. He's one of the people, and when I first got here, he just made it a lot easier.
You have Kenny.
I know you've had a hard time lately. This tower means a lot to everybody, and you feel like it's your responsibility now.
Christy.
But I just need you to promise me, okay? If it falls apart, if you fall apart, just promise me. You'll come to me.
Hey, I promise.
Get in there. Yeah, give her a hug. That works too. She doesn't. All right, now she finally does. It's like at first she didn't want to, but she's got a lot of emotions going on.
I mean, it's not like you can take a nickel and suddenly make it worth 10 cents. Yeah. That doesn't matter, you know.
He's setting the table.
Probably because he's yelled at by her. Like, you're setting this fucking table.
To be the one that everybody just assumes can fix an unfixable problem. Oh, and then
Don't smoke weed, you degenerate.
fine. You know what? Fine. You think you can fix this? Go ahead.
Lolo Sosa! You so much complain. Complain. Stop complaining.
I'm sorry.
I would love to live in that house. I bet she makes some amazing food. Oh, yeah. They have a power source.
But there's no cords in there.
That's true.
The problem is you can't plug anything in. God knows, whatever's coming up through those wires is still...
He's going to figure it out. And now he's going to go back to Jim and be like, ha ha, I figured it out.
I was just thinking about something Ethan said.
What was that?
What if we were supposed to come here? Back home, we never talked anymore. We just... And now we're together again. It's like Fatima said to me on my first night. If you climb up high enough, even a nightmare can look like a dream.
Yeah, it's like everything has power and water, but there's no pipes, there's no lines. Oh,
dude, are you kidding me?
I'd rather be, well, I mean, I'd rather be in the cave. In a cave.
It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Wasn't sure you'd wake up.
Where are we?
Don't worry. We're safe. Finally managed to get one down. And, this was inside.
What does it say?
What exactly?
1864.
Wow.
I think we should go back. The voice I heard, it was different this time. It was a woman. That we shouldn't have come, that there are things out here that are worse than the monsters. She kept saying, tell Mr. Fish and Loaves that I was wrong. What?
Dude. Oh, Jesus, dude.
I don't know.
They're pulling them.
Yeah, that's being pulled somewhere.
There's drawings of scarecrows
Dude.
and boogeymen, giant spiders. This is definitely a class.
What is it?
Keep digging. I think I hit the bottom.
That tent would be shredded if it was pulled through that whole thing. What are the chances they pulled them all the way back to town?
Dude, that'd be freaky.
What if they pulled them all the way back to town?
You wouldn't want to get out.
Well, he's got the talisman.
We shouldn't have come here.
Shh. We're okay.
I don't think we are.
That's what we heard in her hallucination. In a light, Tabitha. Dude, look outside. Dude, is it aliens? Oh my God! Wow. Woo. Very very chill episode. You know, penultimate. Usually it's kind of like that sometimes. So that was the same kind of horn noise that Tabitha heard in her hallucination, like she was walking up almost like a lighthouse, like a boat.
Well, then you saw that light on their tent circle.
It's like similar to a lighthouse.
Cycled through, so
it's aliens.
Aliens. A very, like you said, chill episode. Very feely. A lot of setup, I think, for this final episode. Man, still good.
Still very good. I do like, you know, Ethan's optimism. You know, he says that, I mean, he's basically alluding kind of the same thing what Julie said, is that back home, I mean, they weren't really a family anymore. You know, Tabitha and Jim were looking to divorce. Julie knew about it. Of course, Ethan doesn't, but he could tell, like, they don't talk much around the dinner table, and he seems to be he knows of the evils that are out there, but because he's so young, he's just so happy being with his family.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think there were multiple points of this episode and different people expressing kind of the same theme. maybe this place, even though there's monsters, isn't so bad. Donna mentioned it, I think. Fatima mentioned it.
Yeah.
And then Ethan with his comment.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think... Yeah, you could make probably an argument like if there weren't monsters, would some of them stay?
Well, that's the thing. They have not tried. They haven't attempted to do anything because of the fear.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to they don't want to go too far away from the town because you don't want to be caught out there at night, right? Now I know they have talismans now, but in the beginning, they weren't sure that the talisman was going to help them in the RV. You know what I mean? So, and of course Fatima wasn't sure that the top talisman was going to help them just in between the doorways. So even though a lot of them have been there for a long time, even with talismans, they're still learning that, okay, we can use these talismans more and more.
Boy,
they're still learning this.
I'd like the first scene when they first try one in a house.
Yeah.
How that would have went.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're still learning, and of course, everyone there hasn't been there all at the same time. But if you go back to the people that have been there the longest, and around the time that they got the talismans, I mean, they're just still learning. And I would be afraid to venture out because it's like I would want to go and see how far I could go, but then it's like, well, I only have so many hours of daylight to make it that far, and then can I get back before nighttime, or if I find, that cave or certain hiding spots that will help me at night. But it seems like you don't even want to go out there at night because
you'll get dragged in a tent.
And like I mentioned in the reaction, I want to know where they are. I kind of alluded to it'd be funny if they dragged them all the way back to town, but I bet they pulled them further out.
I'm really interested to see Sarah's point of view, meaning with this new voice and her warning, like, are these voices really legitimately trying to help them, or are these entities
she goes through a lot of pain
that are playing tricks on them?
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see what happens there.
That's the big question, is how are these beings, we keep saying entities because that's kind of the only thing.
Monsters.
Entities just sounds better for right now, right? But how were these things able to communicate with Sarah? Because it feels like
we don't know if that's them communicating with her.
Well,
or if it's some other being communicating with her.
Well, it seems like each time they do, like after she got the writing on her arm,
she let them in.
Right. So
they communicated with her. She let them into that building.
But it's like every time that they communicate with her, she got the writing on the arm saying kill the boy. What happened after that? She had a seizure. She got a blinding, staking headache with whoever's speaking to her in her head, and then she immediately has a seizure again. So it takes a lot out of her, but the question is, how are they able to manifest these things, especially doing that to a person? Yeah, of course, at night, they're going to try to get in your head because they're talking and whispering, but this is different. This is them physically being able to, like, cause her pain and do this stuff where we're thinking, okay, is it really them, or is she manifesting this? 'Cause she's crazy.
I want to know what that thing she said to the him was, because he picked up on it right away.
What was it? Sorry.
She said some kind of phrase that didn't make sense.
Yes, I can't remember the name. Now, it wasn't something that his wife called him, right? I don't think so.
I don't know,
he picked up on
she
something.
said it was a female that said it to her, so...
Not his wife or something? That's what I was thinking. Was it maybe a nickname that she called him at some point? I don't know.
I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah. Well, we have to think. They have some type of ability because remember when Tabitha found the bracelet that she made for Jim on the outside world, lost it, but somehow it ended up there.
Yeah.
So it's aliens. No. Yeah, guys, we are going to be jumping right into the finale after this as well because we can't wait. We want to know.
I want to know. And we're going to walk away from that with a lot more questions.
Oh, we are. This is only season 1. Yeah, for sure, guys. So once again, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for the season 1 finale of From. Coming soon. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
Bro.